It is Wednesday, again, April 22nd, though in the afternoon. And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive. So welcome everyone to the afternoon edition of Guy's Daily Drive. I recorded one this morning. What I really need to be doing is doing an announcement ahead of time that I'm going to be doing these things. Wow. Just before I started talking for Guy's Daily Drive, I considered going to Chick-fil-A for lunch. I am so glad I didn't do that, because the line, and of course everything is drive-through these days, the line goes all the way back to the street. I was actually held up a little bit because cars were all backed up from people trying to get into the Chick-fil-A. So yeah, not gonna do that. So not gonna do that. So like I said, I'm going grocery shopping. There's a couple of things I need, a couple of things I don't need. Some of the things I do need, or one of the things I need, is yeast. Now I've been doing a lot of baking, and I am not by trade a baker, and I don't necessarily do it all that well, but I'm enjoying it. I've been making lots of loaves of just plain white bread. I attempted to make something with almond flour that just came out so very badly. My wife attempted to make it better by baking it some more, and then when she did eat some, she would serve it up with some honey. But even that, I mean, it was dreadful. So, but we were almost out of sandwich bread, and so it was like, okay, well, I had plenty of flour and all the other ingredients I needed. The one thing that I had that was different, and I didn't realize it at the time, was yeast. Now, in all of the successful attempts of making bread, I've been using active dry yeast, which is what the bread maker had been asking for. Active dry yeast. But the last time I was at the grocery store and I saw some packs of yeast, I just went ahead and grabbed them, didn't even look at them, and it was the rapid instant yeast. It wasn't the active dry yeast. And so when I set up to make bread yesterday, I just did everything like I had been doing. Put in the rapid yeast instead of the active dry. And at the end of the cycle, well, we're not sure how it tastes yet because we weren't quite out of the previous loaf, but it's a mutant loaf of bread. It looks the hids. It really does. It looks terrible. I'm hoping it's going to taste okay, because I don't want to waste all of the material that I used to make this monstrosity. But it's like okay on one side, and then as you get toward the other side of the loaf, it goes in like this big slope, and it's just got these big lumps and stuff. I mean, I have no idea what it's going to be like. And again, hopefully it's going to be edible, because I don't want to waste it. But when I go to the grocery store today, I'm going to be looking for active dry yeast, and the brand that I've been using is called Fleischmann's, I think is the name. And as active dry yeast, it worked great with the bread machine. It was, everything just came out really, really nice. So if I can't find any, I'm going to have to choose a different approach to use up the other rapid instant yeast. Come to a stop. The rapid instant yeast that I have, so because I got to use that up. I'm not going to waste it. But I'll make smaller loaves, and I won't do it in the bread machine. I'll just do it by hand, I guess. The other thing I made yesterday, which turned out much better, was a smaller loaf of cinnamon sugar bread. I mean, it's got cinnamon and sugar mixed together, and it's in different parts of the loaf, and it's weaved through, and that came out really quite tasty. And I didn't do that in the bread machine either. I just did that in kneaded it, did all the rest of that, and did it in a regular pan. So we'll see if I can still use that other yeast. Now, if I don't find any active dry yeast today or going into next week, it's not going to matter as much, because maybe I got a small bottle of it through Amazon, Fleischmann's active dry yeast. It's not in the little packets. It's in this glass jar. And it's the equivalent, according to what it says on Amazon, and it's the equivalent of like 16 of those packets. So I'll have to measure it out instead of just opening the packet and dumping it in. So today was my regular work day, and I was actually quite busy, which was a nice change of pace. There's a couple of things going on at work. People are trying to take my help desk in different directions and trying to use different databases. And and I was telling the guy who brought all this up to me, I said, I don't fear change. Change isn't the issue. However, change just for the sake of change is also not a very smart thing to do. If you're going to make changes to something, especially if it's successful, then you should be trying to change it so that the processes that you want to change are better than they were from what they were originally. Now, we've been using, for better or for worse, Microsoft SharePoint for our forums and for ways to people to contact us and a lot of the things that we do. Mostly because everybody has it in our organization. Everyone has MS Office. Everyone has browsers that work with SharePoint. All of our forums are browser-based. And, when you contemplate making a change, the first thing you have to ask is, does everyone have access to the same kinds of tools that this change is going to require them to make? And in this particular case, it's yes and no. Everyone has access to it overseas, but not domestically. So we still need to keep the original forms that we were using. And to me, that's kind of like, well, then why are we doing this? But I mean, I'll wait and see what the proposal is, and I'll judge it on its merits then. The other thing is, we're also in the process through the contractor that hires almost all of the people that are in my help desk. It's still within Office 365, but it's getting away from SharePoint. And I think it's actually called like O365 or something like that. But it's got a lot of the same functionality. It will allow the people that work in the help desk, if they have to move to other buildings, to be able to log in, see the progress of all the work that's coming in, know if somebody else has already grabbed the work that's coming in, which is something that we can't really do now. And, change for the sake of change, where the change part is supposed to make things better. So that's what's going on there. I'll probably find out more once we get some, once we get some more concrete details on how everything is supposed to work. Of course, the problem right now is a lot of the developers are not in because of the current circumstances. More on that at another time. So I think that is going to about do it for the day. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me here on Guy's Daily Drive. I really, really do appreciate it. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you can. I have an email address, guy@mymac.com. I have 2 different Twitter accounts, twitter.com/MacParrot, twitter.com/BertShark. If you would like to contribute to the things that I do, that would be greatly appreciated. You can do it through Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. You can do it through Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot. You can do it through PayPal, paypal.me/ that's the wrong way, /MacParrot. And I think that is going to be about it for today. I really appreciate the fact that you guys have taken the time to watch and or listen to Guy's Daily Drive. Remember, you can also get the audio version of Guy's Daily Drive with the podcatcher of your choice. Just look for Guy's Daily Drive. You'll also get the audio feed for the Mac to the Future Go live cast. And if you want to see this video part, you can do that either through Facebook on my page if we're friends, or you can go to YouTube, look up my name there, and if you can, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like, share, subscribe to my Facebook page. And I really need to put a link to that in my show notes. But that is going to about do it for today. Thanks again, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.